Asia.
East meets West in a heavyweight clash. China face Uzbekistan for the Group B lead in World Cup Asian final qualifying.
A surprise result and some shocking acting as Bahrain resort to spoiling tactics at Iran's Azadi Stadium.
Off the mark, Oman score their first goal in final qualifying, but could they turn their pressure into points? Find out.
Back from the break, World Cup veteran Saudi Arabia finally find their form to give Thailand a tactical trouncing.
Plus, points-perfect Kashima continue their comeback in the J-League. This week, Jeff United are gored by the Antlers.
All football.
All Asia.
All here.
On Football Asia. The first match from week 5 of the World Cup Asian final qualifying was Iran versus Bahrain. Ali Dai's Iran had had mixed form and fortune, while Bahrain had been the surprise package of the final qualifying round. Going into the game, 2 wins and a draw saw Iran sit atop Group A with unfancied Bahrain leading the chase. But their match at the Azadi Stadium in Tehran turned into a one-dimensional affair. Iran did all the playmaking and should have scored a hatful. Bahrain did all the play acting and at times should have won an Oscar. In fact, the match had the plot and drama of a comic opera. So much so, we decided to let the music and pictures speak for themselves.
It was brilliantly brought back from the byline, and you'd expect Ali Dai to at least hit the target from there. Well, the players on the ground didn't really see what happened there. They're asking for a yellow card, which the referee's waving away. Well, now they're through. Might be offside. Yes, that's frustrating for Iran. This time Bahedi tries to go around his man. Well, he certainly didn't hurt his ankle. I don't know what he's doing down there. The shot misses, and one of his teammates goes down. This is getting ridiculous. They play in Bahedi, beats his man this time! Oh, he's missed! Another chance, fall down. This is a good save. And after a demonstration like this, you have to say, is he really injured? Now this has to be the chance. Oh, he plays it over. Ali Dai, if he's not going to score, no one is. It's another chance missed, and if 2 images sum this game up, that's one of them. An Iranian striker with his head in hands, and frustratingly, to the neutral observer, the other has to be the sight of a Bahrain player play acting on the ground.
That 0-0 draw saw no change in the order of the standings in Group A. Iran still
qualifying. Stanger was replaced by Rashid Jabber, the man who was in charge during their qualifying campaign for France '98. For Oman, it may be too late. The Emirates have struggled for form in final qualifying. UAE underachieving Emirates. New coach Tini Ruiz faces a tough task improving their fortunes. The top-seeded Emirates were in 4th place going into week 5 with just a single victory. Oman were the only team below them and had yet to score. Oman in white had easily the better of the opening 10 minutes. No clear-cut chances, but lots of pressure. The Emirates didn't even penetrate the Oman half until the 13th minute, but when they did, they made it count.
Well, this is better. They push it around nicely. It comes to Abdulaziz. Oh, what a strike! Their first meaningful attack, and he's hit a beauty with the left foot. The defence backed off, but it still needed a great strike, and that's what he gave it.
A great goal in any language. In search of their first goal, Oman continued to have the better of the half. Hussein Mustahil watched his header sail just centimetres past. The UAE were content to counter-attack. Salim thought the referee had missed a bit of shirt pulling in the 16th minute, but it was nothing compared to what Oman missed in the 25th.
It's a long throw, looking for the knockdown. That's a mistake. Here's a great chance. Radwan Salim puts it across the face of goal. Player coming in. Oh, dear. Oh, that could have been a lot better.
Mohsin Salih did better in the 37th minute, but he too couldn't hit the target, and the Emirates went into the break 1 goal up. The start of the second period saw Oman continue to pressure.
Flag stayed down. This has to be a goal. What do they have to do to score?
Finally, in the 57th minute, a breakthrough.
In it comes, left-footed. Radwan Salih's on the far post, and he scores! Finally, after 4 matches, a goal for Oman.
The historic goal was a just reward for the Oman fans. The equaliser sparked life into the Emirates. Their top scorer in qualifying, Yasser Salim, should have done better with the free header after 55 minutes. It proved to be his side's best chance to steal a victory. At full-time, the team shared the points, but Oman were happier with the result and with their first ever goal in final qualifying. A draw wasn't the best result for 2 teams hungry for qualifying points. The top-seeded UAE needed a win to revive their World Cup hopes.
Yeah.
Our next match in World Cup qualifying was something of a heavyweight contest. In the red corner, leaders China played 3, won 2, drawn 1. China light on their feet, young, fit, with a lethal jab. But in previous World Cup campaigns, they've been vulnerable to the late knockout. But that was then.
He's just got to sling it in. Li Weifeng! It's gone in! Keeper couldn't hold it. Maybe, just maybe, it's going to be their year.
In the blue corner, second placed Uzbekistan played 3, won 2, lost 1. Uzbekistan are the hard men of the Asian final qualifiers. Tactically less sophisticated than their opponents, but a force to be reckoned with. They too have never gone all the way to the World Cup finals, but they've always left an impression. They come from a part of the world with a long history of football and may cause China some problems. China had one of the best attacking forces in Asia and one of the most solid defences. Goalkeeper Zhang Jin saving blushes as well as shots in earlier games.
But it's difficult, you know, in this area you have other countries like Korea, Japan, Iran, Saudi Arabia. They have more culture to play the soccer. The soccer is a new sport for the Chinese people. They have league only 5 years. Also, they're very far away from competitive soccer. But this, I think, is the biggest problem.
Uzbekistan have fought well on home soil, winning against Oman and Qatar, but went down to a sucker punch from the group's lightweights, UAE, in Abu Dhabi. They've always had a reputation as the physical boys of the Asian scene. Will that be enough against the group's leaders? For a match of such importance, it looked like it was going to be a fair one. It was certainly a physical encounter. China on the offensive in the 3rd minute. Wu Chenying with the first effort and a warning to the Uzbek defence. Next, a 2-pronged offensive from the China forwards and a double assault from the visitors' backs. Luckily, the first foul outside the penalty area was the one penalised. Again, Wu Chenying stretching Alexei Polyakov in the Uzbekistan goal. The keeper's next challenge was against Chi Hong. So far, Uzbekistan had hardly come out of their own half. Frustration started to nibble away at the group's hard men. And Bora looked less than impressed with Uzbekistan's plan B. Just before the end of the first half, China showed they weren't to be pushed around. All the chances to the home side, but the score 0-0 at half-time. The start to Uzbekistan's second half showed no signs of improvement. Possession was so rare it seemed they'd almost forgotten what to do with the ball when they had it.
Look at the pressing from China, hunting impact. 3 players around the ball, no way through for the Uzbek side.
For China, it was only a matter of time.
Wu Chongying over the ball. China's strong at set pieces. They need a goal. They've got it! Finally, Li Weifeng applies the finishing touch that had been lacking. It's relief as much as celebration from the crowd. And China could be on course for 3 more points. The marking wasn't great, the finish decisive.
On China's next offensive, Uzbek were seemingly back to their old tricks. The visiting team's 4th yellow card and Sergei Lushan's 2nd meant his dismissal. That gave China a 1-man advantage, which quickly turned into a 2nd goal. Veteran Fan Zhiyi with a great strike. 75 minutes gone, China 2, Uzbekistan 0. Uzbekistan must have known they'd left it too late, but the last 15 minutes were their strongest. First, a fumble by the normally ever-ready Jiang Jin. Then a challenge from Nikolai Shershov. The match ended with a familiar theme. Substitute Yu Jianwei was cautioned 2 minutes into injury time, bringing the total number of yellow cards to 8. But at full time, the reputations remained intact. Uzbeks as the physical, China's as the favourites. The win stretched China's lead to 4 points, and though Uzbekistan stayed in 2nd place, Qatar and UAE are hot on their trail for the runners-up spot.
What would you say to a chance of winning VIP tickets to the World Cup Asian final qualifiers? We thought so. Football Asia is giving away tickets to each of the remaining matches in the final qualifying round. Simply log on to footballasia.com to find out how you can win. If you're lucky, we'll see you there.
At the higher echelons of sport, mental strength is as important as physical prowess. Self-belief can be the difference between victory or defeat. Saudi Arabia, the top seeds in Group A of the World Cup Asian final qualifiers, are a classic example. Last year's Asian Cup in Lebanon, the Saudis crashed 4-1 in their opening game. Enter Nasser Al-Jahar. The change in coach led to a change in mentality and a resurrection of fortunes. Saudi Arabia went on to reach the final of the tournament, only to fall just short of claiming the prize. History is threatening to repeat itself in the World Cup final qualifiers. After a poor start to qualifying, Nasser Al-Jahar resumed the role of coach. A move which may signal the return of self-belief for players like Mohamed Al-Kalawi and Sami Al-Jabba. The World Cup veterans may both be approaching retirement, but Captain Sami still has one more burning desire.
I want really to have a good end.
The Thais will have to learn to make better use of their chances if they're to cause a few upsets. Striker Sakasan Pitarat scored 5 goals in preliminary qualifying, but his domestic situation may be affecting his country's hopes. Because of a dispute, he hasn't played club football for 2 years. The lack of match practice has been telling. So, an important match for both nations. Saudi Arabia needed the win to keep pace with the group leaders Iran, while Thailand were looking to rekindle their diminishing qualification dreams. The match was played at the Raja Mangala Stadium in Bangkok in front of 18,000 fans. A test of the Saudis' mental capabilities awaited. After 10 minutes, an early scare for the visitors. Thailand continued to apply the pressure, but Sakasan was still busy finding his feet. He didn't take too long to do it.
It's Gedezik down the right-hand side, past one. This is a good run. What's he got in the middle? Here comes Sakazan. Keeper saves it. No, he doesn't. It's in from Thailand. Sakazan finally does it. He needed 2 stabs, but he's made it 1-0 to the Thais.
A first ever goal in final qualifying for the diminutive forward who's been under fire for wasted opportunities in their previous matches. Saudi Arabia were quick to fire back.
And now the Thais must concentrate. But there's a great chance off the crossbar. It was Al Dossari. Now Sami Al Jaber's done the same thing. I don't believe it. This was a great jump. Al Dossari finding the crossbar, and in fact, you'll find Sami Al Jaber's chance was an easier one.
6s and 7s in the Thai defence, but still no joy yet for the Saudis and their coach. The first half ended in smiles for Thailand, 1-0 at the interval. Much to ponder for Al Johar at the break. Could he bring about a revival? 2 minutes into the second half, it appeared he could.
Great diagonal run by Sami Al Jaber! It's the equaliser! It's gone in somehow. And judging by the look on Sami's face, even he can't believe it. He made a great run, no one went with him, but I think the shot was going wide. Just watch this, it catches a divot, yep, and kicks into the net. Unbelievable.
4 minutes later, Sami was in the wars again. But he couldn't believe the decision of referee Fuse not to award the penalty. The replay proved he might have had a case. It was all one-way traffic now. Obeid Al Dossari's free kick on 57 minutes stung Rawangpar's fingers. By now, the game had shifted dramatically away from the Thais, and it got worse on 64 minutes.
Rawangpar's missed it, and it's finished off by Al Shehan. It's 2-1 to the Saudis. What a turnaround, but it all came from a fantastic strike from Saad Al Dossari.
Quick thinking from the Al Shabab forward to snap up the rebound. 7 minutes later, Super Sami was at it again.
Oh, he's twisted, he's turned, is he going to finish? No, but it's got to be Al Dossari! And that one will clinch it for the Saudis. 3-1, and it was made by the super striker. You need quality in these matches, and they've got it. Look at the turn, now look at this ball. He knew Al Dossari was there, and he picked him out.
Just a minute later, Suti Suksom Kit could have reduced the arrears, but again, wasteful finishing from the Thais. That was the end of their challenge, but Sami the Tormentor almost increased the Thai pain.
格外耀眼，绿地里还挂起了巨大的红灯笼，市民全家老小一起出动，边关灯边拍照。淮海东路和外滩更是满目缤纷，美不胜收。广东珠江岸边，数千市民共赏中秋明月，江风习习，月色明亮，火树银花，弦乐悠扬，人们开心地品尝着月饼水果，谈笑风生。 璀璨的礼花映衬着皎洁的明月，欢快的乐。
刚刚开始。